The most shocking fact about the mysterious James Webb Telescope is that it has done more than we could have imagined, and it continues allowing scientists to see every star, object, or crippling creature crawling on the surface of every planet in space, but also is getting scientists confused. Stick around to discover the newest strange image James Webb's telescope recently captured from the deepest side of space. It is another incredible discovery scientists never knew could actually exist. To an extent, scientists seem to have no clue about sacred and terrifying things in space, which is why the James Webb Space Telescope scaled up beyond what scientists have already examined and observed about space bodies. Let's first have a general understanding of what the James Webb Telescope is all about. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, known as JWST, is an infrared space observatory that was launched from ESA's launch facility in Kourou, French Guiana, on December 25, 2021 at 7:20 a.m. The expense of producing this telescope is worth over $10 billion. It has received several nicknames like the artificial semi-spiritual eye or the seer of secret things in space underworld because of its high-tech sensitivity. But for NASA, it is the largest and most powerful space research telescope that will investigate the cosmos to learn about the universe's history from the Big Bang to the birth of alien planets and beyond. The James Webb Space Telescope traveled over 1 million miles, that is 1.5 million kilometers, in 30 days to its permanent home, the Lagrange point, which has been confirmed to be a gravitationally stable place in space. According to NASA, the James Webb Space Telescope will investigate 4 major topics, which are the genesis of light in the universe, the formation of galaxies in the early cosmos, the creation of stars, protoplanetary systems, and planets, including the origins of life. So, the telescope is a big deal project to assist scientists in several underground research. Let's reflect back to the first pictures James Webb Telescope revealed to NASA. The image was of a boring star, and they are the first to be returned from NASA's James Webb Telescope and have surpassed all dreams and expectations. After completing the self-assembly of its 18-segmented primary mirror, the telescope obtained extraordinary photographs of an ordinary star to test its capabilities. The star is 100 times fainter than the human eye perceives, and these stars are so cute that you won't hesitate but to admire them all day. Astronomers are intrigued by the spray of tiny dots dispersed across the background. NASA officials expressed their immense excitement and relief at what these initial photographs reflect in a virtual briefing. "We indicated last autumn that when we see an image of a star that looks like a star, we'll know the telescope is operating properly," says Lee Feinberg, Webb Optical Telescope Element Manager at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. "From here, no doubt you'll believe that 21st century space technology has a lot of unimaginable operations to do just to get us amazed. These first photographs are not scientific. Instead, they are engineering images meant to evaluate how well all the numerous pieces of this engineering marvel operate together. Where the Hubble telescope orbits the Earth, James Webb orbits the Sun nearly 3,000 times farther away within our reach for servicing. While this dramatically expands our vision of deep space, it also implies that we have no way to make modifications or corrections if something goes wrong. These initial photographs are more than simply confirming that the telescope is working correctly, they clearly represent James Webb's potential. 100 times more sensitive than Hubble and working in the infrared spectrum, James Webb is already collecting galaxies far more distant than any previously seen. There is no way Webb can gaze at any place in the sky for 2,000 seconds and not get an enormously deep field. From now on, this is going to be the future. A vast field everywhere we look. We're looking back in time to galaxies that we're seeing the light as it looked billions of years ago without even breaking a sweat. The James Webb spacecraft includes 4 scientific instruments, but only one of them, the near-infrared camera that assisted in delivering these initial photographs. NASA anticipates that the last 3 will be operational and ready to begin scientific imaging in June or July 2022. And the process is only getting started. Now, coming back to the second set of strangest pictures scientists haven't witnessed before, the JWST performed more than expected when it sent another scary image. Although the goal of this telescope was to focus to the bright star in the center of alignment evaluation, Webb's optics and NIR cam are so sensitive that the galaxies and stars observed in the background are visible. At this point, the Webb's minor alignment, called fine phasing, each of the major mirror segments has been modified to provide a single unified image of the same star using only the NIR cam sensor. NASA has just released 2 stunning photos captured by the James Webb Space Telescope. The telescope is on a far space mission to search for indications of life in the universe. The perspective into outer space provided by the telescope isn't the only mind-blowing aspect of the new image. The time-traveling aspect of the James Webb Telescope is all about how long light takes to travel through space. Because light travels at such a slow speed, we can virtually travel back in time to the formation of stars and planets. Light reaching the James Webb Space Telescope might have traveled millions of kilometers from a star that no longer exists. Light from close to the beginning of the cosmos will be seen if we use the telescope to view far enough into the distance. Scientists believe that some regions of the cosmos will remain inaccessible. Because the cosmos is supposed to be expanding, specific light sources are moving away from us all the time. As a result, light may never reach the James Webb Space Telescope. However, it is hoped that the telescope will inform us about the expansion of the cosmos. NASA has provided information on their new star picture. While this image aimed to focus at the bright star at the center for alignment evaluation, Webb's optics and NIR cam are so sensitive that the galaxies and stars observed in the background show up. The novel selfie was made using a modified pupil imaging lens inside the NIR cam instrument designed to take photographs of the primary mirror segments instead of sky images, the US Space Agency noted. This configuration is only utilized for engineering and alignment purposes and is not used during scientific activities. In this view, all 18 of Webb's main mirror segments are gathering light from the same star simultaneously. If you were hoping for better views from the $10 billion space telescope, you wouldn't have to wait long. NASA has stated that the photographs will improve after all of the technology of the James Webb has been tested and positioned correctly. The telescope has now been fully deployed, which means it has finally unfurled its massive mirrors and the sun shield that will aid in its search for signs of life in the universe. The telescope is simply a giant mirror that can see far beyond what we've seen previously by using infrared light. James Webb has gone a long way since the initial photographs it captured earlier this year. In February, Webb's image of numerous views of a star called HD 84406 and the telescope's first selfie was shared by NASA. Webb isn't finished yet. Today, the telescope's mirrors are still hundreds of microns off their ideal positions. However, for the mirror segments to work as one, they must be positioned within a few nanometers of one another. The team still has more work to perform to accomplish this. They'll start by locating and collecting the 18 points of light, one for each of the telescope's mirrors. At this time, we have 18 different telescopes, Perrin explains. We start by aligning them all as individual telescopes. The entire procedure is scheduled to be completed by May. Once operational, the telescope will be used to view back in time to when the cosmos first began, staring at ancient galaxies that formed just after the Big Bang. It is projected to have an aesthetic and a scientific value. Some of what we're getting from the spectroscopy will be telling you how galaxies are rotating and how galaxies as gases are being blown out of them by a supernova and determining the composition of the gas and the galaxies. Aaron Wolf, a scientist on the James Webb Space Telescope at Ball Aerospace, says, "At the meantime, we'll continue hearing thrilling news from NASA about another new Imagine which the James Webb Space Telescope has dug up from space. Since no space agency, including NASA, has ever traced the presence of any living aliens in space, we just hope JWST don't extract any image of a region of alien in space any day, because they may be a rivalry to the existence of humans. If that happens, we here on Earth will start preparing for war against aliens in space. Is it a good idea for the JWST to start unveiling every hidden object in space? Won't that get scientists more scared to carry out more space research? Let's also keep an eye on it and check if it can prove Stephen Hawking's multiverse theory. Click on the video to know more.